question for one of the groups: when are we going to get concentration polarization? And I thought, what on earth is concentration polarization? So I looked at the words and found that sort of dictionaries were no help. And then somebody posted a formula which supposedly was relevant to concentration polarization. When I looked at this formula, it mentioned Faraday's constant and log I and all the rest of it. And cutting through all of the mathematics and trying to get to the root of what the question was really about, I discovered it was about the resistance that builds up on the corrosion cell that prevents the current from continuing in the corrosion process, and therefore slows down or stops the corrosion reaction itself. And somebody somewhere has started using the phrase concentration polarization. And this is dreadfully confusing, because it's a very simple process what happens. The corrosion reaction happens at the anode or working electrode of a corrosion cell. And Faraday found out that the amount of metal leaving or going into solution from the anode of the cell is equal or proportional to the current in amperes that leaves the anode. And therefore you can relate the amount of rust, if you like, or the amount of damage to the metal to the amount of current. And this business of concentration polarization, the word polarization seems to be meant in the cathodic protection world, it seems to indicate a steady state when there is no current flowing, as far as I know. I've been asked by lots of people, including scientists, what do you mean by polarization? And to be quite candid, there is no clear meaning to the word polarization in cathodic protection. It's just a word that they use to confuse people. Anyway, to continue, the simplicity of a corrosion cell is like when a battery dies. An ordinary dry cell battery dries up, it expires, it's no further use, it's not giving off any usable current. When there is a concentration of corrosion products, or all of the reaction chemicals have been used up. That's as far as I can ascertain the meaning of concentration polarization. As for the formula, this is of no use to anybody working in the field. What we've got to know what the readings are on the meters that we're using, what the graphs we produce from those meters mean, And we've got to relate that to when actual corrosion stops. And that gives us the criterion on which we can base all of our application of cathodic protection.